Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And then when it gets to the bit where there's no words, it's
This podcast contains graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Now, with that being said, welcome to the Mortal Musings podcast.
Right, let's do this.
Lads, I've bought a Wonder Broom, and it may be one of the best purchases I've ever made.
It's a stick with a bit of rubber on it.
It's a silicone brush. Yeah, no, so if you've seen the adverts, all them, you know, the JML adverts and all that, I was watching like, oh, that is amazing. That is something else. But does it actually work that well?
Mm.
You know, what's a good name for one of them guys? You know, the guys who promote it.
Tossers.
Well, yes. Like Barry Scott from Silverbank. So yeah. I'm sat there at home going, but Barry, does it actually work that well? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It is fucking amazing. It is the best $9.99 I have ever spent. I am fucking delighted with it. What?
I'm not shy of hard work. And when we come home with that, I was like, I'm testing this. So I took it out of its packaging, put it together, and our bedroom carpet, Norman destroys with his fur. So I spent less than 5 minutes scrubbing. And yeah, hair came up, but I was shagged out. I was absolutely bollocks.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of elbow grease, but no, like, so with our carpet, obviously, you know, you hoover it, but if you've got pets and the pet hair gets into it, you know, you're not going to get it all up from hoovering. So I used to use a dog brush, and I used to quickly go over it and just get the worst of it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That fucking Wonder Broom is, oh my God, it's a godsend.
I am
obsessed.
Fucking workout is what it is.
Well, I mean, two birds, one stone. I'm not fucking going to the gym. I don't go to the gym anyway, but I don't have to now. I've got the Wonder Broom.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if any of yous have pets or you're just, I don't know, particularly hairy person that sheds a lot, I would highly recommend the Wonder Broom.
Use code MORTAL for 10% off.
This is not sponsored, but sponsor us, Wonder Broom. Ready and waiting.
Yeah.
Another little bit of, I suppose, literal housekeeping here. Neil has got loose with the label maker.
Do you mean?
So don't sit still for too long, lads, or he'll fucking label you. Well, you labelled stuff around the house, didn't you? Around
the house?
Well, around the kitchen.
I've got some airtight containers. What I have, my protein powder, my electrolytes, my creatine.
Supplement shit.
Yeah. Anyone will tell you clear whey protein powder and creatine powder look identical.
Mm-hmm.
So I have them labelled.
I understand that. As far as labelling stuff goes, that is one of those things, because it's just powder. You can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
Fine. What bothered me about it is that you didn't just write protein powder or, you know, fucking clear whey or whatever it may be. You actually wrote it and then put a frilly border around the edge of the label. I mean...
I did that to get a rise out of you.
Yeah. And here's the problem. I'm as bad as you. I noticed it and was like, I'm not commenting on these labels. I see what he's done. And it turns out I'm more petty than you. You gave in before me and you had to come to me and be like, did you notice the labels? I was like, I did, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why isn't she saying anything?
Yeah.
So I was, have you noticed anything different in the kitchen? And you just went, them labels, yeah.
Yeah, this is it's not a good environment, lads. This is it's an incredibly passive aggressive household, this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Norman's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. But
and to do that frilly border,
yeah,
I can't remember who exactly it was. So this label maker, I got it to make the address labels for sending out the Patreon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
2 people who joined Patreon, when I sent theirs out, I put that frilly border on the address label.
Wait, trying to wind them up too?
No, it was just to be different.
Yeah, just trying things out with your label maker.
Yeah.
Just having fun, experimenting.
So they'll know what you're on about.
Yeah. Do you like the frilly border?
No,
Oh.
can't stick it.
So you're actually, so every time you go to get your protein powder, you're like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but at least I know it's
Commit
protein.
to the bit.
So, because last week we did last meals,
Mm-hmm.
are we doing last words?
We are, but before we get into last words, we do have a mention.
Oh,
So we want to give a shout out to Iga. She bought us a coffee and she said, I find your podcast comforting and hysterically funny. I moved to a new city some months ago and have since experienced a few personal and professional disasters. Discovering you both has given me hope. Please keep going and please keep arguing about the most random stuff.
that's sweet.
That is very sweet. I'm sorry you've been going through a bit of a difficult time, but I'm glad that we've been able to, if even just for half an hour, 45 minutes, give you a laugh.
Actually, we're stepping the game up. We're around the hour marks on some of the episodes now.
We absolutely are. You're right. People have requested it, and we have delivered.
We didn't mean to. I think it's just in episodes recently we've had more of a debate, like a bit more of a discussion after you've told the case.
I do love a bit of a debate. Every time we have an episode,
You always win.
Well, no, actually, last time we had a bit of a debate. I'd say 98% of listeners agreed with you. People basically said, Megan, shove it up your arse.
What was that?
The Vincent Lee, his sentencing, or lack of sentencing, should I say.
Yeah.
Basically the result of that. A lot of people did not agree with me, and they're very much on your side.
Yeah.
But
So
I mean,
should. I'm quite insightful.
Either way, I really, really do enjoy having a bit of a debate. And I think it's also good because, we want our listeners, we want the mortals to get involved.
Yeah.
And give their opinion. Even if you're turning your back on me, I understand. I know how it goes. But yeah, no, we do appreciate your input.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank
Eager
you,
for
Iga.
buying me a coffee.
And
Appreciate you.
as a fellow Zuzel fan, because she's from Poland.
Woo!
Zuzel.
Yeah. And all that jazz.
She'll know what that is.
She might hate it. She might be like, I don't give a fuck about that. But, yeah.
So,
go
on.
Well, so today we are going to be covering Last Words Part 2.
Shock.
Shock horror. No one saw this coming. The first one we have is a man by the name of Grover Cleveland Redding. Now, I didn't see an age for him, but the method was hanging, and this was on the 24th of June, 1921, in Illinois. His last words were, I have something to say, but not at this time.
Fucking smart ass.
Smart arse. I mean, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it is a pretty good one, that.
You want something a little bit kind of like where they're about to do something, then you go, wait, what? Next we have Jeffrey Doty. He was aged 39, method was lethal injection, on the 16th of August 2001 in Texas. Now I'm going to get a little bit more serious here, a bit more somber for this one.
Okay.
For almost 9 years, I've thought about the death penalty, whether it is right or wrong, and I don't have any answers. But I don't think the world would be a better or safer place without me. If you had wanted to punish me, you would have killed me the day after, instead of killing me now. You are not hurting me now. I've had time to get ready, to tell my family goodbye, to get my life where it needed to be. It started with a needle, and it ended with the needle. In reference to his drug addiction. Yeah, it's a heavy one, isn't it?
It is. Like,
he's had a bit of time to think about it. Well, he clearly stated that.
Like, why is there such a delay? Like, when they're sentenced to death, why is it, like, a decade later?
Well, I think he's kind of more referencing to, like, if it was actually important,
Yeah.
not so much the legal system, but that, I mean, there has to be a trial, and obviously death sentence is so final. There has to be, you have to make sure it's the right decision, and there has to be room for appeals in some cases, and
yeah, but a decade?
There's some people who are on over 20 years, and
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
It's a ponder.
A ponder.
That's a word, isn't it?
Wonder.
No, ponder.
Ponder.
Oh, is it ponder?
Yeah, it's something for you to ponder.
Okay.
Are you pondering this now?
Yeah. I don't know what it means, but yeah.
Pondering, like you're thinking about it. You're wondering about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. G.W. Green, age 54, lethal injection, 12th of November 1991 in Texas. Let's do it, man. Lock and load. Ain't life a bitch.
Calm down, GW. Fucking hell.
I love that. Snappy, though. You know, he's not fucking about.
I suppose, like, he might have just been excited to get it done.
I mean, I don't know. I might have that approach myself. Like, you
It's
know,
a bit of relief.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I can't stop it. Fuck it. Let's do it.
It's like, think of yourself as a kid at Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and there's them Christmas presents under the tree.
Don't know where you're going with this one.
No, you're not allowed to open them,
Mm-hmm.
and you've just got to wait, and
Yeah.
you hate waiting for it. Well, that's him walking past the electric chair.
I'm actually not like that. I quite like Christmas and the build up and like, oh, I can't wait for the 25th, but in reality I can wait.
Here
I'm
we go.
excited for it. What? What did you say?
Here we go.
No, but seriously, I love the anticipation of that, like seeing the presents sat there. Whereas you're the top, like Christmas just gone, you knew that I had bought your present, and
I didn't.
no, you did. Remember, I put it away and I said it's in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, you're a fucking adult and you know to
Yeah.
leave it alone.
Yeah.
But you literally said to me, "Can you wrap it?" Because you were worried that you were going to open it and fiddle about with it.
No, I was joking about that.
I don't think you were.
No, I was joking with that. I wanted it wrapped
Mm-hmm.
because why not? I've wrapped all yours.
The reason I didn't, okay, I kind of have my own little tradition of Christmas Eve night. I like to wrap presents. I don't know why it became that way. I just feel like it's a Christmas thing. I usually like have a hot chocolate or whatever, and I'll,
Yeah.
you know. But the reason why I definitely wouldn't now is because Norman is a very, very chewy dog.
He is.
So I don't do it.
Well, I put presents under the tree, didn't go near him.
He actually was very good. I'll give him his credit. But could you imagine, especially, you know, I did spend out a little bit on your present this year.
Yeah.
If he had destroyed that. Neil would not be a happy face.
No.
No.
But I think he'd have a job at destroying that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fucking Norman.
Wallace Wilkerson, age 45, firing squad, 16th of May, 1879 in Utah.
That's the way to go.
I give you my word. I intend to die like a man, looking my executioners right in the eye. Now, those should have been his last words.
But he shit himself.
His actual last words, oh my God, they've missed. The firing squad missed his heart and bullets hit his torso and arm.
Right. I know I only do airsoft,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd find it easier to fire a bullet than I would a BB pellet, what weighs 0.2 grams, 0.25 grams.
Mm.
If I aimed for your heart with my airsoft rifle,
Mm-hmm.
I would hit you in the chest. Hitting the arm? This is a firing squad.
Well, right, so reports vary, but it was said it took between 15 and 27 minutes for Wallace to die. Yeah, not fucking great.
Yeah.
The justification, and now I don't know how true this is, but the justification of the situation here was that they had positioned him in the chair.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'd said that he had shifted or moved, I'm guessing, obviously, after they had lined up the shot already. Now, like I said, I don't know how true that is. It kind of sounds like bullshit to
Yeah.
me. But yeah.
Sat in a chair? I thought you'd stand up against the wall.
I would have thought so. But like I said, don't quote me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Either way, not the best way to go.
In fact, I'll go even further. I could grab one of them 0.2 gram BBs and throw it at your chest and I'd hit your chest.
I'd rather you throw it at me than fire it at me, if I'm honest with you. David Martin Long, age 46, lethal injection, 8th of December, 1999 in Texas. Sorry y'all. I think I've tried everything I could to get in touch with y'all, to express how sorry I am. I I never was right after that incident happened. I sent a letter to somebody, a letter outlining what I feel about everything. But anyway, I just wanted, right after that, to apologise to you. I'm really sorry for it. I was raised by the California Youth Authority. I can't really pinpoint where it started, what happened, but really believe that's just the bottom line. What happened to me was in California. I was in their reformatory schools and penitentiary, but they create monsters in there. That's it. I've nothing else to say. Thanks for coming, Jack.
Who the fuck's Jack?
That's just what you say, isn't it? Hey, Jack.
John, not Jack.
Who's John?
What?
Who's John?
No, you just say, like, you say John.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like a slang thing?
Yeah. I think it's more Cockney.
I've heard Jack. I haven't heard John.
I've heard John.
I think you're just trying to throw a spanner in the works here.
No, watch Only Fools and Horses. He says John all the time.
He also says Dave. Doesn't make it right.
That's trigger. Like, how fucking long was his last words?
Yeah, he kind of used it as a chance to try and state why, like, where he thought it went wrong for him, and he thinks that the treatment he received as a younger lad kind of I'm guessing. I mean, I'd have to look further into his story and his case and everything, but obviously had a big effect on him.
What if? I've got a couple of scenarios. So, what if I read a book for my last words, an entire book?
Mm.
Would they let me?
I mean, I'd say you'd probably maybe get halfway through chapter 1 and then they're like, all right, just calm down. Taking the piss. We know what you're doing. What if someone listens to this? What if an inmate listens to this on death row and they give it a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we take credit for that if we find out that happens?
I think not. I think we step back.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd kind of, there's a bit of moxie there.
Or could I sing a song? Like, just sing an entire song?
Do you know what you do? You say,
But
I would
pick
like...
that bird one, and that's 12 minutes.
Well, Freebird.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you could
And
say...
then when it gets to the bit where there's no words, it's just...
Can you release my hands? I need to do the air guitar. I was going to say we could do is, I've actually chosen to sing a song for my last words. And I go, okay, I have the backing track here for it. Okay. And then you hand them like a 10-hour loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would try it.
Baby Shark.
Oh, I think we're over that now. Please don't bring it back. Now, something interesting to note before we move on to the next person. 2 days before David was due to be executed, he was found unresponsive in his cell after overdosing. He was placed on life support. So, healthcare workers are obviously working to care for him to keep him alive, just so the state can... What?
To kill him.
Yeah, just so the state can end his life 2 days later on their terms, essentially. It must have been a very kind of conflicting feeling for the nurses and doctors working with him. The doctor treating him actually refused to sign an affidavit stating that it would be safe for him to be transported back to the prison, but they didn't listen to the doctor's advice and he was executed.
Fucking hell. I was going to ask, about the last meals?
Yeah.
So, to prolong it, this is another little idea I've had. Say I was allergic to peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I order stuff for my last meal with peanuts in it. So my face fucking blows up.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally, like,
Yeah. Swells
up. And I get rushed to hospital and all that. Just to prolong it, just to be an awkward bugger. Like, would that work?
Well, I mean, it didn't work for David, who was actually on life support. He was in intensive care, and they're basically like, right, sort it out. Let's figure this out. You would like to think that there might be a slight bit more, well, I mean, I would say more compassion, but is it compassionate to prolong someone's life just to end it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Listeners, let us know. You're clearly a very opinionated bunch.
I wonder if the reason why they were so strict with that is because it's for the victims to see him, the victim's family to see him die, to actually see it.
I don't know, because I mean that's an interesting point in itself, because some family members of victims,
Won't go near it.
yeah, they either don't want to be involved in it because they just don't want to see the person, whatever their reasons may be, or they don't agree with taking a life for a life.
Yeah.
They don't see it as resolving anything, which it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's one of them. It's non-refundable once the appointment's made.
Non-refundable.
Yeah.
I think we've got bigger issues here. We're taking someone's fucking life, Neil. Non-refundable. That was the best choice of words. George Bernard Harris, age 41, lethal injection, 13th of September 2000, in Missouri. Somebody needs to kill my trial attorney.
Oh, so he did a cracking job then.
He was not happy. George was not a happy bunny. Delbert Boyd Teague Jr., age 36, lethal injection, 9th of September 1998, in Texas. I've come here today to die, not to make speeches. Today is a good day for dying. To the point, no messing about with this lad.
Well, you ain't got a choice. Like,
Well, no, he hasn't. But I mean, he does have last words, and technically he's used them. He's also like, piss off. I'm not making a whole speech. I'm here to die.
yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of, what do you want me to say?
Like, I know we joke around saying, mine would be get your sins fucked off and stuff like. But you don't know, do you?
Yeah, I mean, you don't. Some people go for the more kind of, I suppose I'll say, romanticized, to my friends and family type of thing. Others, it's fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, or, someone needs to kill my trial attorney. It's basically like, carry out my final wishes.
I don't know. Like, I could be completely fed up and completely stuffed from my last meal.
Milk was a bad choice.
They'd be there, like, holding the mic to me going, hey, Neil, what's your last words? And I just go, sick of it.
I'm sorry. It's not a press conference.
What?
You're acting as if you're like a fucking footballer coming in for the press conference. Neil, what's your last words?
Yeah, and I just go, sick of it.
Sick of it. Those are your last words.
Yeah, sick of it.
Sick
Get
of
on
it.
with it.
Carl Panzram.
Oh,
Carl Panzram, yeah, I know. Yeah, I was
I
going
know
to
that
say
name.
I was going to say you're a fan. Not the right choice of words.
no, I'm not a fan.
No, it's a case that you are very interested in.
Yeah, it was interesting fact. It was one of the cases that I first listened to start to finish.
Really piqued your interest in true crime, wouldn't you say?
When we worked overnights and Megan would have the radio on, and she'd connect a phone to it and she'd be listening to these true crime podcasts. And I was just stood there shaking my head like, there's something wrong
You
with you.
sick bastard.
Something wrong with you. But yeah, his case was what piqued my interest.
Do you want to elaborate on what happened that night?
Oh, so...
Did we tell the story on the podcast before?
No.
No.
We might have on Patreon.
Oh, okay. Right, lads, we're letting you in on some behind the scenes here.
Yeah, so we were working overnight. We were the only ones in the building. And at about 3 a.m, there was a guy coming, a maintenance worker, to fix a cooker. He stepped in that kitchen. He opened the door and had 1 foot in. And I shit you not, on the speaker at that moment, and he sodomized over 300 boys. That guy didn't look at us,
No.
say a word to us.
No.
He was there for about a good 2 hours,
Yeah.
and he didn't lift his head up once. He was shitting
He was
himself.
fearing for his life. Now,
Poor bloke, like.
I know we're overnight workers, or were at the time. Does it make us?
And people see overnight workers as weirdos.
Yeah. It really, really did not help the stereotype there. See, I wasn't actually working in the same room as you at the time, so I kind of got away scot-free. I didn't have to deal with the awkwardness. But when I walked through, I was like, oh, you could cut the tension with a knife.
Yeah.
It was bad.
The timing, you'd never be able to do that again.
No. Even, so we had another worker with us at that night.
Yeah.
he would always just put his ear, like, so I would always ask if I was putting on true crime, like, are you okay with it? Because I know, it's a bit much for some people. They don't want to hear that. They don't like it. That's absolutely fine. So I'd always check, and he's like, yeah, no, you're fine, work away. And he would put his earphones in anyway. But obviously at times he would listen to parts because he knew and he heard that bit. And he was like,
yeah, because he went to let him in.
Yeah.
And he walked in before him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was as the maintenance worker walked in when it said it.
Yeah.
And yeah, me and that other worker, we kept going up to each other like, has he said anything to you yet? Not a word. Not a word. Yeah,
that was a tad awkward.
Yeah.
But he got out of there alive. He was good. And he learned a little something about Carl Panzram.
Well, he didn't know it was Carl Panzram.
Okay, he learned something in the arena of true crime. He's gone home to look it up. I hope that man has found out.
The only way that would have been funnier is if he went, did that just say sodomized?
What if
he'd have questioned it?
I would have loved he'd been Carl Panzram.
Oh.
Yes. So back to Carl's last words.
Uh-huh.
I have two different quotes, but both quite similar.
What do you mean?
So it's essentially the same quote, but the wording is slightly different.
Oh, I'm going to say, you can't have last words twice.
Yeah, so I know which one I think sounds more like Carl.
Okay.
But I'll see what you think. So first up is, hurry it up, you hoser bastard. I could have killed 10 men while you're fooling around. That's the first variation.
Okay.
The second one is, hurry it up, you hoser bastard. I could kill 12 men while you're screwing around. Now I think...
Screwing.
Do you? I think the first one, I think Carl would have been quicker to say fooling. 10 men fooling around. I think he would have been more distinct on the number.
Let us know. Let us know what you lot think. Screwing or fooling?
Come on, lads.
I think screwing.
Lads, don't let me down. Come on now.
Then again, he had a really rough life early on. So he wouldn't be very bright, so he wouldn't know what a dozen is.
I'm sure he would have known what a dozen is. I've just realised we didn't actually say the age and all that because we got distracted by your fascination of Carl.
Oh.
At the time of his execution, Carl was 39 years old. The method was hanging and was on the 5th of September 1930 in Kansas.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Next, there's anything else you want to say on it?
Oh, you know, with him getting hanged,
Mm-hmm.
who is it who picks the method?
I mean,
and what makes him choose? They're like, he looks like he needs gas chamber. He looks like he needs electric chair. Like,
I think it varies from state to state, country to country.
What facilities they've got.
Yes, but also I do know there has been situations where the person's been offered a choice.
Oh, okay.
So I think it does very much depend.
That's what I mean. If they came up to me and goes, right, you can choose your method. What do you want? Firing squad. We don't do that anymore. You asked.
Yeah.
I told you. Firing squad. What, you don't have guns? It's America.
Would you really want firing squad?
Absolutely. I'm deadly serious when I say that. I said it in the
Why?
first episode and I'll say it again.
Why though?
Why?
Why firing squad?
It was.
Is it just like go out with a blaze of glory? Is it that?
It was out of comfort, but...
Comfort?
Yeah, knowing, but they've got a good aim.
Yeah.
They're not aiming far.
Mm.
And it'll be one shot, one kill. Done. But after what you've told me today...
Yeah.
Don't put them on it.
I've ruined your dream of dying by firing squad.
And sit still.
Yeah. And you don't sit still.
What?
You don't really sit still.
I absolutely do. You tell me I don't move.
As you're always saying, you dither a lot.
Yeah.
Dithering about. I don't. I'm terrible for it. I'll cross my legs, uncross them, cross them the other way, fucking fold my legs underneath myself, fucking... it's all over the place.
Yeah. Bouncing kneecap up and down.
That's what I do. Next we have Lena Baker, age 44, electric chair, 5th of March 1945 in Georgia. Now, Lena was sentenced to death for the murder of Ernest Knight, who was a man she'd been working for, who had actually ended up imprisoning her.
Oh.
It was said that they did have a relationship of a sexual nature. I do need to look further into this case. I'm unsure if and when it turned from consensual to not consensual. But during her attempt to escape, the two got into a physical altercation which resulted in Lena shooting Ernest with his pistol. She did report the incident immediately, but seeing as Lena was a black woman who had killed a white man, they didn't really give a fuck about the circumstances.
Yeah, fucking hell. Should have probably done better going on the run.
Probably. She was also the only woman to be executed by electric chair in the state of Georgia. Lena's last words were, "What I done, I did in self-defense, or I would have been killed myself. Where I was, I could not overcome it. God has forgiven me. I have nothing against anyone." Also important to state, Lena was pardoned on the 16th of August in 2005.
Yeah, what good does it do?
I mean, you know...
Too little, too late.
Appreciate the gesture, lads, but, you know, doesn't change anything. James Lee Clark, age 38, lethal injection, 11th of April 2007, Texas. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I didn't know anybody was there. Howdy.
What? That sounds like something I would have as last words. Who was what, where, and howdy?
He was literally like, I don't know what to say. So then he was like, howdy.
Oh, you've only had fucking 11 years to fucking pick something.
So here's the thing with James. The decision to execute him was a controversial one. He was intellectually disabled, and there was an outrage that his death sentence went against the 8th Amendment by imposing a cruel or unusual punishment.
Right.
So that part of it, you know, obviously that's very sad. It's just the howdy at the end.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy, age 42, electric chair, 24th of January 1989, Florida. I'd like you to give my love to my friends and family.
His friends and family won't give a fuck about him.
I mean, I really thought old Teddy boy would have been a bit more, you know, he would...
I thought he would be more like, I didn't do it. I told you I didn't do it.
I honestly thought he'd go more the direction of trying to be like profound or poetic in what he said. Like, you know, he thought he was like...
She came over to me.
Oh, God. I really didn't think it would be like a simple message of love to my friends and family kind of thing.
He were just full of excuses.
He was one of, you know, the typical fucking psychopath of like, you know, I'm smarter than you. Yeah. And I, like, you know, obviously the pictures of him in court, you know, I can represent myself. And then he starts to lose the cool. Yeah. You know. And then his last words are relatively kind of just tame and, okay, fair enough. Fucking hell, Ted. Really, that's not on brand for you.
Yeah, you'd let the side down there.
Wesley Allen Dodd, age 31, hanging, 5th of January 1993 in Washington.
Wait, method was what?
Hanging.
They were hanging in 93?
Ah, apparently.
I thought hanging were done away with ages ago.
It does seem a fairly outdated method, doesn't it? Yeah. You never know. Maybe old Wesley was given the option. He was like, fuck it, I'll go for hanging.
Who would pick hanging? Like?
No, wouldn't be my first choice.
I'd probably go with hanging over gas chamber.
No,
There's
I think
something about gas chamber. What? I don't know.
Sitting there hearing the hiss or whatever.
Well, I might start to feel claustrophobic, and then you're choking on the gas, and I don't know. Hearing the metal door close.
I know, yeah, there's a lot of components that you're just sat there taking it all in.
But then it's like when you're hanging, you're hearing the rope creak when they're putting it over your neck and tightening it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Firing squad. Done. Gone.
So, yeah, so the visual of like them lining up and the guns isn't as bothersome to you as the noises.
No, just imagine it's airsoft.
Anyway, Wesley's last words were, I was once asked by somebody, I don't remember who, if there was any way sex offenders could be stopped. I said no. I was wrong.
100%.
I suppose at least he's learned his lesson. Maybe not learned his lesson, but realised there's repercussions.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a funny
Yeah, it is.
last word. It's like...
For a sex offender.
For a sex offender. Thomas J. Grasso, age 32, lethal injection, 20th of March 1995 in Oklahoma. Now, Neil, do you remember we actually covered Thomas in part 2 of Last Meals? Tell
me an item of food he had.
I'll read you the whole list just to give you a refresher.
The whole list? So it was the last guy?
You're not going to remember.
Oh.
No, it wasn't the last guy. No, fuck that guy. So Thomas's last meal was 2 dozen steamed mussels, 2 dozen steamed clams with a wedge of lemon, a double cheeseburger from Burger King, a half dozen barbecue ribs, 2 strawberry milkshakes, half a pumpkin pie with whipped cream, diced strawberries, and SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
Yeah, I think I said...
You took issue with the SpaghettiOs.
And the clams and mussels.
Well, Thomas's last words...
Like, this is your last meal? You want fresh spaghetti from Italy?
Well, calm down now. Do you know, he's in fucking Oklahoma. Within reason, Neil.
Kim Kardashian flies to different countries for cheesecake.
She's not on death row.
Yeah.
And she's a multi-millionaire.
So's the state of Oklahoma.
Are we really going to dig deep down into this argument? Is this worth our time? Is this worth the listeners' time?
I'm trying to make a point.
Anyway, Thomas's last words were, I did not get my SpaghettiOs. I got spaghetti. I want the press to know this.
What a knob.
Yeah.
Like they were actually doing you a favour.
When we did Last Meals
Fucking
and you...
child.
When we did Last Meals and you commented on the SpaghettiOs, you don't know how happy I was knowing that this was coming up.
Fucking child. I have spaghetti oops.
Yeah, you do.
But I get spaghetti oops because, obviously they're cheap and everything. But I can literally just dump it in a bowl, chuck it in the microwave, heat it up.
Something quick, warm.
Make some toast, and it's a hot meal.
Mm.
Because I'm a busy guy. I'm still working, and I've got all the editing.
I think you're an asshole.
Oh.
Yeah. I basically eat the same meal, but it's beans. Beans on toast.
It's not the same meal.
Spaghetti hoops is just fucking shit.
Is it?
Have some actual pasta, you bastard. At least with the beans, you're getting some fibre, a bit of protein, like we discussed earlier with the protein. Get that protein in.
I have CLAs and protein powder.
Get them fucking beans into you. You won't be wasting money on them fucking supplements. Right, well, anyway, that's the last I have for you for last words of death row inmates.
Okay.
I think it's time to hear a few words from our listeners.
Oh?
What are you saying oh for?
Oh, is this why you were chucking your phone to me earlier?
Yeah, so we've got them written down, but we thought, seeing as I read out the last meals, Neil will read out the last words for me to hear.
Right. So we're switching places for a minute.
Yes, we are. I get to sit back now. Here we go.
So first off, right, and apologies to this person, because Megan dropped the ball in last meals.
I did, yeah.
And forgot to read this one out.
Yeah, the admin's gone to shit here, lads. Not that it was ever good.
So Martin, who is also, if you're in a Facebook group, you'll know him as the admin.
Martin.
He's probably the most active in the group.
Marty.
And he's also the person, if I'm not sure whether a meme is okay enough to go in the group, if it's a bit too... I send it Martin, and Martin will be like, absolutely not, or he gives it the thumbs up.
Oh yeah, Martin's a godsend.
So I'll tell you his last meal first, seeing as you didn't read it out in the last episode.
I was remiss.
I think I'd go for some mashed potatoes or maybe biscuits and gravy.
See, I love a mashed potato.
But that's it.
I've never, Martin, he likes his food. Me and Martin have had we got into a discussion about cheesecake the other day.
Yeah, but if he likes his food, it can be, I'll have a pizza, and then I'll have a burger, and then I'll have a sausage roll, and then I'll have a doner kebab.
But
and then-
this is where I'm going to defend him here. I think Martin, again, bit of a food. He likes his food now, same as myself. I think in that, same as I am, it's kind of, do you know what I fancy right now? And he fancied some mashed potatoes or biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
okay.
There's too many possibilities.
And then, just to show you his humour, his last words, if I was being electrocuted, my last words would be, I'll be absolutely shocked if this works.
Brilliant. Round of applause. I love that.
So, next up, we have the two ladies from Once Upon a Crime.
Okay.
We'll start off with Esther.
Ezzy.
So, for her last words,
Uh-huh.
catch you on the flip.
No fucking about. Love it. Straight to the point.
That's Esther.
I'm out.
That is Esther.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
So chill.
And then Lorena. Oh, okay. This is definitely like this is Lorena. Like that's the only thing I can say. This is Lorena. Make sure my cat is fed.
I mean, fair point. Yes, very that.
That is her last thought.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. No,
Good
it
mama
is.
to her cats.
So next up we have the paramedics, the Fliss and Garmin. So we'll do the Fliss. She has two options.
Okay.
Either maximum effort
Okay.
or I'm not great at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?
Okay, I love that. That is perfect.
And then for Garmin,
Mm-hmm.
so simple. For Frodo.
Yes.
Yes.
You wouldn't get that because you...
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
sorry,
off,
Garmin.
Neil.
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings. We're going to try.
You're going to try.
We're going to try and get through it.
You'll do it for Sean Bean.
So next up, we've got Stina.
Stina.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? That's a reference to 47, isn't it?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad Pitt and that.
You were never good at maths, were you?
Bollocks. Janine.
Janine.
So for her last words, she was basically saying she thinks she'd screw it up and just end up saying something like, huh?
I think that could be you, Neil.
It could.
It could very
That
easily.
could. I'd say it multiple times a day. You know, it could be, do you want a cup of tea? Huh?
It's actually become a thing in our house that Neil says huh so much that I've actually started taking the piss and I'll do it like a what's it called, a foghorn?
Yes.
I just go huh at
Yeah.
him all the time.
So next up we have Kerai.
Kerai.
So Kerai, hers is simple.
Mhm.
A bit aggressive.
Oh.
Right, let's do this.
Who's she quoting there?
What?
Who's she quoting there?
I don't know.
She's quoting you. That's our intro after I give our little, listen lads, this podcast is a bit dark at times. You're like, right, let's do this.
Yeah, so I'll read it properly. Right, let's do this.
There you go. Fabulous.
Right, Bobby.
Bobby.
Okay, that's disappointing. His is nice.
Ah. Well.
I hope I lived the best life I could. I love you, Hannah. And then in brackets, my wife. Not the other Hannah.
Not the other one from down the road.
No,
His wife, Hannah.
his wife, Hannah.
Okay, that's all right. I was a bit worried there for a sec. But it is sweet, because, I mean, with all of us taking the piss and all that, you got to have someone come in. And Rob is such a sweet guy.
Yeah,
he had to actually, drag the standard up of this show.
Yeah. I think if it were me, even though me and you are happy, and we're in love, I think I would still be like, Megan, go bollocks.
Yeah, actually.
Go fuck yourself.
Tell Neil, just for one last time, go fuck yourself.
Shut up.
Yeah, No, do you know what would be what I'd say to you? Please, for the love of God, just tell Neil for one last time, shut up, you fucking fool.
Pick your socks up. Stop dragging your fucking feet.
It wouldn't be pick your socks up. It'd be, why are your socks on the floor?
So next up we have Gail. My lovely Gail running through the field.
Oh, yeah.
Field. Say it weird, don't they? Like
Field. They're trying to hit the note.
Yeah. Just play the fucking note. Hers, simple. It's a fair cop.
I mean, depending what she did, yeah.
Depends on the cop.
It de-
Could be a bent cop who's fucking stiffed you up. Stiff.
oh. Where are we going now, Neil?
Didn't mean stiffed. Next we have Cam.
Cameron.
He has 2.
Okay.
Can't do that. We're asking you last words. There's no glory in the fall.
Okay.
Or the devil is on the phone. He laughed and said, I was doing just fine. That's a bit dark, isn't it? Like,
Cameron don't give a fuck.
I was not expecting that from Cam. He's a lovely guy.
Which one would you pick out of them?
Probably the devil one.
Yeah, I like that one as well, because some people would be like, oh, those are good last words. And then others be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Might buy him a couple seconds.
So, right, next up we have Robin.
Rockin' Robin.
Damn, that went fast.
Oh.
But in reference to what? Like...
Life, I would assume.
Well, you chose to end it fucking sooner than it should. By going off and... Look, if she hadn't have betrayed Batman for Poison Ivy...
Yeah.
You know, because Robin was under the spell of Poison Ivy.
Yeah, if you hadn't just... if you just copped on Robin.
Right, so next up we have Craig,
yeah.
So for his last words, thanks for the hot shots.
Okay. Is that in reference to something? Because if it is, I don't get it.
Well, there's Hot Shots Part 2 and stuff, isn't there?
Huh?
There's a movie called Hot Shots and then there's Part 2. Also, his daughter, I don't know what she did for a 9-year-old to be on death row. Goodbye, world.
Oh.
Why is she thinking about her last words at 9
bringing the tone down.
So the last one, from Leonhardt, our newest member of the Mortal Army.
Oh, Lenny.
And he said, my last words would probably be, don't worry, be happy. It sounds cool, and it also really good advice, so it's a win-win.
That's a nice one to finish on.
But that's why I did it.
He's brought the tone right back up.
Right up.
Right up.
We went from a 9-year-old on death row.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
To, a more positive one.
Let's just say she was in detention or something. I'm being a bit dramatic. It sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Goodbye, world.
She's pissing about at school.
Yeah.
And teacher's like, right, Zoe, go and stand in the corner. And as she walks up to the corner, she turns around to the class. Goodbye, world.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Right, so
back to you.
Oddity.
Oddity.
Big Bertha.
Jesus.
Big Bertha was born on the 17th of March, 1945 in County Kerry.
I was going to say, I thought I knew her, but I think I knew a Big Bertha. I knew a Big Brenda.
Bertha was a German cow, a native Irish breed. So I don't think you knew her. I could be wrong.
Oh, is this that one? There's a video of a cow going around the internet at the minute. And it's about 6 foot. Like, from the floor, it's like 6 feet.
No, that was in America.
Oh, okay.
That was a big cow.
It weighed something like 6 ton. Or 3 ton. 3 ton. 3 ton sounds more. But it was fucking huge. Right, heifer.
You were so happy you could make that joke, weren't you?
Right, heifer.
Right. So in Bertha's lifetime, she actually held 2 Guinness World Records. One for being the world's oldest living cow, and the other record was for breeding. So I didn't have a fucking notion what the average number of calves that a cow would have in their lifetime.
Yeah.
But apparently it's between 5 and 10. Okay?
Okay.
Bertha birthed 39 calves.
But she had a longer life.
Well, but I mean, also factor in the gestation period for a cow is roughly the same as a human. So that's a hell of a lot of her life.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fair whack being pregnant.
I don't know if I agree with the...
It's like that fucking 19 kids accountant. It's just like, it just keeps popping them out. Oh, poor Bertha.
Isn't that encouraging breeders?
Yeah. It's not. So Guinness World Records, I was actually going to state this at the end, they do not recognise that record anymore.
Okay.
I would assume to discourage,
Yeah.
animal abuse and shit. So Bertha actually became a bit of a celebrity. She made many
Because she was old and spitting them out.
No.
What was she a celebrity for?
But she was Big Bertha.
Okay.
She made many public appearances, including being elected the Grand Marshal at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Sneem, County Kerry. Her owner, Jerome O'Leary, did say that she could, unfortunately, become a bit nervous before her appearances, which understandable, the large crowds and all the noise.
Yeah.
So, to calm her nerves, he would often give her a shot of whiskey.
Of course he would. What else would you give a cow in Ireland?
Not great, Jerome. Like, please, come on. Don't be doing that.
With the expensive stuff as well?
I mean...
A good fucking bottle of Jameson's?
Probably. It's Ireland,
Yeah.
We tend to... We don't drink piss water, Over the years, through her appearances, Bertha raised thousands for cancer research, among other charities.
Well, let's be realistic. She didn't.
What do you mean she didn't?
She just stood there.
Well, she encouraged it. She got more people out.
I think she ran marathons and fucking climbed a mountain.
But it's the same thing. Like if you link a celebrity name to something, people suddenly become more interested about, X, Y, and Z. On the 31st of December, 1993, Bertha passed away, just 3 months shy of her 49th birthday. And following her death, a wake was held for Bertha in the Blackwater Tavern in Kenmare, County Kerry.
A wake?
A wake for a
cow?
Big Bertha, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite sweet, don't you think?
Yeah.
She was loved.
Okay.
Why'd you look so bothered by that?
Who would have a wake for a cow?
The Irish. We're giving a cow whiskey in the story, and you're like, awake? Get real.
Oh no, I'm livid about the whiskey. You should never be giving animals alcohol.
No, you shouldn't.
But then it's Big Bertha. She'd be able to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't. Following her wake, Bertha was stuffed, and she now resides at the Hazelfort Farm guest cottages, where she is greeted by guests from all around the world.
What? So you got people coming from Australia to go and see a stuffed cow?
Yeah. Yeah, Big Bertha was international news. She was Big Bertha.
Okay.
Kind of a big deal. Now, although, like we mentioned earlier, Guinness World Records don't recognise the breeding record anymore, but she still technically holds it.
Okay.
And she also still holds the record for the oldest living cow. Pour one out for Big Bertha, huh?
Well, it's a bit late to pour one out.
I mean, this is a ferociously Irish story.
Yeah.
So she's a cow.
You didn't tell me it was in County Kerry.
It's what?
If you didn't tell me it was in County Kerry,
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to tell me.
It was in County Kerry.
You wouldn't have. Yeah, I'd have a guess at Kerry as well.
It's right. So obviously it's Ireland. It's about a cow. It's about a cow drinking whiskey. It's about a cow being fucking famous and being the Grand Marshal at a St. Patrick's Day parade.
Having a wake in a pub.
Having a wake in a pub. And she was also born on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
How does that... I mean, the Irish... I mean, every fucking time we talk about the Irish, it's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
We don't fucking stop. Absolute carry on.
Taking your dead uncle to the post office to draw out his pension.
Yeah, the definition of acting the bollocks. Thank you so much for listening. Find us on Patreon, TikTok, Facebook and Instagram. If you have a case suggestion, or maybe even your own story, email us at mortalmusingspodcast@gmail.com.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.